I love this moment in the podcast where you're looking right into my eyes, completely silent, and I'm waiting for you to do the intro.
Oh, I'm sorry to start at your convenience.
I don't know. Do you? I never know. Are you?
5, 4, 3. This week on Close Talkers, we thought we were getting a Super Bowl sex romp because we watched Season 6, Episode 12, The Label Maker.
I never know if you were thinking of what you're going to say in that moment or you've already thought of what you're going to say.
Yep.
Okay. Hi.
So, Katie.
Hi.
How'd you like The Label Maker?
It was good. Did you like it?
I felt, maybe I'm misremembering. I felt like last episode went by so quickly. And this episode, like it took forever to get through. Not necessarily like a bad way, but there were so many storylines going on.
I kind of agree. What I think for the first time, maybe watching Seinfeld, I was like, how much more of there is this?
Yeah.
But I liked the episode. I don't know. It was maybe because there was so much going on. I mean, everybody was in it.
Everybody was in it. I mean, Jerry had his own storyline. George had his own storyline. Kramer had his own storyline. Elaine kind of had her own storyline, although it kind of intersected with Jerry's. Mm-hmm. But then you had like Newman coming in and doing stuff, intersecting with both Kramer and Jerry.
And Tim Whatley.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. New girlfriend for George.
Bonnet.
Girlfriend's roommate who looks like George. Steve.
Scott.
Okay.
So The Label Maker was written by Alec Berry and Jeff Schaefer.
Can't read your writing?
Nope. It was directed by Andy Ackerman. It aired on January 19th, 1995. Vulture.com ranked it as the 36th best Seinfeld episode. Screen Crush had it at a middling 91.
I think I agree with Vulture.
Yeah.
Despite so much going on, and also me thinking, when is this over? It zipped. I laughed. I don't know.
There wasn't really like a dull moment. There wasn't really like a bad storyline. Everything kind of worked.
I think I was the most bored with George.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Till the end, of course. I mean, I don't know how it's pronounced, but...
It was boring until you thought about a threesome with George.
So who are the guest stars?
So we had Bryan Cranston reprising his role as Tim Whatley. We had Wayne Knight returning as Newman. We had Jessica Tuck playing the role of Bonnie.
Is that a drag queen?
Nope. Good drag queen name. She was in True Blood, One Life to Live, and General Hospital. We also had Cleto Augusto playing the role of Scott.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know, because you look at Scott, and it's like a dull white guy wearing flannel and pleated pants. Mm-hmm. And then these actors' name is Cleto Augusto.
Is it like the Italian version of Cletus?
Maybe.
It's actually a really like embarrassing hillbilly name in Italian.
He was in The Artist, Warrior Road, and a movie called I Know What You Did Last Winter. No relation to the movie franchise I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Let's throw it back to last week when I asked you if you remembered The Label Maker.
I think Tim Whatley regifts a label maker to Jerry from Elaine, to Elaine from Jerry, and it's a piece of crap.
So?
I think I nailed it. I don't really remember what I said. What did I say?
Label maker, baby. I don't know. I'll read the synopsis. Whatley regifts a label maker to thank Jerry for Super Bowl tickets. Kramer and Newman play Risk. George's girlfriend's roommate looks just like him. So I have a question. Do you think the thank you is commensurate with the gesture?
No.
A label maker for Super Bowl tickets?
So I do think that George's point, like, you're handing me a bill for $1,500. So it's like, yes, it's great to go to the Super Bowl. It's in Miami. They live in New York.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's a hard thing to get to. Yes, these are expensive tickets, but it's also like, you're going to need to like invest in this thing that I'm giving you. Mm-hmm. So maybe from that perspective, you don't need to like.
I almost think that no thank you gift would be more appropriate. Like just saying, wow, thank you. Because I'm going to pay $1,500 to go to this thing, but I want to. I'm taking them off your hands. Thanks. Right? Like, here's a, I don't know, Rubik's Cube. Like, is this okay? You know, like, it's just like, here's some junk. I don't know.
The Rubik's Cube? What?
Well, I was trying to think of like a small gift. Here's a 3-ounce bottle of balsamic vinegar. I don't know.
I mean, it probably should be like a bottle of wine.
Yeah, because there's no way that you won't enjoy that.
That's what I would do if somebody bought me Super Bowl tickets. I'd buy them like a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I ever want. Birthday, Christmas. Needed. Yeah.
So tell me what to do now. That I want you back. Did I ever tell you about the time that I was having dinner with my dad and a friend of his had given him a bottle of wine as an apology, so not as a thank you, because he was supposed to play golf with my dad and then couldn't make it. And so he was like, oh, I'm sorry I couldn't make it here, like a bottle of wine as an apology. And then
to notorious drinker, your dad.
Notorious drinker, yeah, my dad.
Not a drinker at all.
And like as he was opening the bottle, I like looked it up on the LCBO and it was like a $200 bottle of wine. Oh. I was like, oh, put the cork back in. Put the cork back in.
So how was it?
It's fine. I mean, I think once you start spending more than like $30 to $40 on a bottle of wine, it's probably all the same.
Diminishing returns.
Yeah, exactly.
What about whiskey?
So, I had this conversation with somebody after trying blind, an expensive bottle that previously people had tried not blind and they really liked. And then when they tried it blind, they didn't like it. And they said, you know, those 18, 20, 25-year-old whiskeys, they can be like really interesting flavors. Those are the expensive ones, but they're probably more for like sipping and trying. Whereas you want like you want a easy drinking $60 bottle of something that just like goes down like water, but isn't super complex and like weird.
Sure. I get that. So label makers.
Yeah, this is like right up your alley.
I do love a label maker, but the greatest office supply item.
Do you want to say it at the same time? Because I know what it is.
3, 2, 1.
A laminator. So how many years ago for Christmas did I buy you a laminator?
At least 10.
Have you ever been more excited about a gift I've ever given you?
I don't think so.
I don't think you have.
We do have a label maker. I believe it needs 4 AAA batteries every single time you want to use it because it's old. And
is it a label maker? Label Baby Junior?
Label Baby. It's a Brother P-Touch. As soon as I said that. But it is probably 15 years old. I mean, I could use a new label maker.
I'll keep that in mind for your birthday coming up.
Okay. In the stand-up, Jerry says having a favorite sports team or favorite players is weird because you're cheering for the team. If a player gets traded, you don't like them anymore. And you're really rooting for the clothes. I
disagree with this somewhat. I've definitely like repeated what Jerry has said. However, I think there are still cases where, depending on the circumstances, I think fans nowadays are a little bit more understanding about players leaving.
Yeah.
And while, you hate to see your favorite player leave, sometimes you understand that. And then when they do come back with their previous team, the whole like highlight reel goes up on the big screen. Yeah. They get a standing ovation from the crowd. I don't think it's quite as bad as it was maybe in the 90s, where I feel like maybe today fans are more invested in the like business of sport. And so they understand like, oh, this player's contract was up. Oh, there's a salary cap. We couldn't pay to keep him returning. Like, you know what I mean?
Do you think, at least for hockey, people are just less goonish? Like, We don't have, bench clearing brawls anymore. And they're not like, you left our team. Same human, different shirt. We don't like.
I was actually thinking more about like when the Raptors lost like, DeMar DeRozan and he came back and
his daughter was screaming.
But they also put a highlight reel up,
Yeah.
Those things.
Sure. I've never bought a favorite player's jersey once they've left my team.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But I thought about it.
And
then I was like, do I want a New York Islanders jersey?
Oh, like for the other team?
Yeah.
Who played for the Islanders?
Felix Potvin.
Oh, you're going to buy a Potvin, an Islanders Potvin jersey?
Exactly. Am I going to buy an Islanders Potvin jersey?
Was it the...
It's not Dennis Potvin.
No. Was it the... what do they call the third jersey?
With the stupid guy on it?
What's the fish sticks company name?
Oh.
Long.
No.
Captain.
No. Highliner? The Highliner jersey? Captain Highliner. I was right. Okay, let's continue. It's the Highliner guy. I was right. I remembered.
Captain Highlander jersey. I hope that sentence makes sense. What was the point we were trying to make?
I don't know. Jerry's trying to get rid of these tickets.
Oh, were you buying a Potvin Captain Highlander jersey? That I think I can understand. There's probably... He was on the team before then.
No, they wore that jersey for only 2 years, and I think he was on the team after that.
When was Potvin?
So they had that jersey from 95 to 97. He was still in Toronto.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I feel like it was gone by then, and it was Belfour?
After Potvin? Okay, no. This isn't puck soup. Come on, back on track. Kramer's only interested in Canadian football.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the superior football.
Clearly.
You can fight me on this, okay? I'll
No, I agree with you. I don't need to fight you.
I'm gonna okay. Putting this out into the world, I've talked about this privately with friends. Here's how you fix Canadian football. Now, okay, there's one problem. There is a skill gap because obviously it's any player that is skillful enough to play in the NFL will go there because there's more money. The rule set that the CFL has far superior to the rule set in the NFL. Bigger field, unlimited movement in the backfield, deeper end zones. List goes on and on. The only problem...
Our balls are bigger.
...is... so a larger line of scrimmage. The only problem is that we have 3 downs instead of 4. And so when you have like too many 2 and outs, it's like super boring because it's just like back and forth. Here's how you fix it. After every change of possession, the team gets 4 downs.
Just one. Yeah. Okay.
So you have 4 downs to get 10 yards. After that, it goes back to 3 downs.
Sure.
You get rid of the 2 and outs. Still super exciting. The play clock is less, like it's faster. Totally fixed it. CFL.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. I'll accept all checks can be addressed to
Close Talkers.
Care of...
We'll get a P.O. box just for the occasion. We'll accept a box at TD Place.
Oh, the Red Blacks are so terrible this year.
Well, we have the box. We can watch other things. So I genuinely laughed with Kramer's entrance.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I wrote the note that I wrote down, Katie laughed at physical humor.
Because he's knocking on the door backwards with his head holding the risk board.
You laughed at that? You laughed when he lifted his foot up and slid the newspapers off the table?
Yeah, I did.
You're becoming a Kramer stan.
No, this is it. So they need Jerry to be Switzerland because...
They've been playing 6 hours of Risk.
Risk ruins friendships.
Is Risk that bad? I think the only problem I have with Risk is that it takes a long time. I guess because it's like you're attacking and defending. Yeah, okay. It's a very like adversarial board game.
My group of friends, from my old job in Toronto that I hung out with when we met, I think our friendship was most in jeopardy the night we played Risk. When people were genuinely screaming at each other, like standing up and pointing in each other's faces.
Don't tell them about Catan.
Our friend group here played Diplomacy for a while. We never actually played it right, though.
Why did we not play it right?
Because we were playing on an app or on a website. And you're supposed to play Diplomacy in person and then like physically go and have conferences and talk to each other.
Well, the app had a chat feature which allowed you to talk to people.
Which we used, but basically we played Diplomacy like Risk.
The only time I won with Diplomacy was with you.
Yeah.
Where neither of us betrayed each other ever.
Yep.
It was the only way to win.
That's the key to a successful marriage and winning at Diplomacy.
But then after we eliminated everyone, I started eliminating you when you got mad at me.
Yes. Don't turn on your wife.
There was nobody else to...
You couldn't have just called it there.
No, the game isn't done until there's one winner. You did buy me for my birthday a physical board game of Diplomacy.
Which we have never played.
Well, it is so confusing to like...
It's
resolve the turn because you have to like do it in order. Like it's crazy. And it is a game that like literally they're like, you're going to have conversations and this game is going to take forever.
It's a vintage, like 1950s Diplomacy. You're welcome. It doesn't fit in our game cupboard. It's very annoying.
You gave it to me and I said, oh,
Diplomacy. So, regifting, yay or nay? What do you think?
Okay, like what are we talking about here? Brand new inbox?
Oh, yeah, not used.
Well, Tim Watley reused the label maker, or used the label maker before regifting.
I guess. But he still had the box.
I mean, I think big time in general, no. If it's still in cellophane, I can see what you're doing.
I think at this point, I don't give or receive stuff that, like, again, wine. Just, I gift wine. I want wine.
It's mostly one-time use.
Yeah. Once it's open, you really can't gift it again. You know what?
Unless you butt chug it.
I was just going to say, wine enemas.
Wine enemas.
Okay. That's a throwback to a previous episode. I think we talked about it on here. Or was that just you and me?
I believe I read the post. Okay. I don't remember why now. At the time, I feel as though it was relevant.
So is this a great apartment George's girlfriend lives in?
It's fine. I don't know.
It seemed really bland.
Beyond the velvet couch,
yeah,
it looks cluttered and kind of small.
I thought it looked really empty.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just nondescript. It just has the velvet couch.
Yeah.
I would drape myself in velvet if it was socially acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Has George said that on the show before?
I think this might be the first time. However, it does return.
Okay. You've said it to me, and now I know what you're talking about.
Oh, you didn't know what I was talking about?
No, of course not.
I must have seemed insane.
So,
or you're like, oh, I guess it really likes velvet. You could have got me a velvet tracksuit.
Or a cape.
Ah.
Have you ever met someone who looks like you? Not like you resemble some celebrity, but you meet someone and you're like, whoa, we look alike.
Not really. I have had people tell me that I look like people, and I think I have a face that like
looks like people's faces.
Looks like other people. So like people like, oh, you look like blah blah blah.
There was someone at our old job who, when we both worked there, I mistook for you at a distance.
Mm.
But I would see him walking down, our big open building, and I'd be like, oh, it's not Derek.
Mm.
So, he looked enough like you that it fooled me.
Fooled my wife.
Yeah.
Fooled my wife. Shame on you.
I've never met someone who looks like me. But my aunt swore that the girl who delivered her newspaper was my complete doppelganger.
Okay. I think that people think that most redheads look the same. Or there's only like 3 like models of you in like the
Okay. Explain yourself.
The simulation.
Go on.
They're like redhead. We only have like 3 body type models. We'll just make them all the same.
Continue. I'm
joking.
details.
It's because people have red hair. It's like they think any redheads all look the same.
Someone did mistake me for my manager at my old job, who she does have red hair, but she's about 4.5 feet tall and weighs about 80 pounds. So I don't know how you could confuse us. And looks nothing like me in the face.
There you go.
It's just the hair. It's just the hair.
Yeah.
George eats a pickle at Jerry's apartment. That when he pulls it out of the jar, it's the darkest pickle I've ever seen.
It is a pretty dark pickle, yeah.
Do you think it's a grape Kool-Aid pickle?
No, I don't.
It was black.
I've only ever seen Quillicles made with cherry Kool-Aid.
Well, what's stopping you from making...
Well, a grape Kool-Aid pickle would be disgusting, Katie. Come
crazy.
On. Yeah, get it together.
So Kramer's car gets towed. Do you think Newman made that happen?
Organized it. He's in cahoots with the...
Tow truck driver?
Tow truck driver. So interestingly, when Berg and Schaefer were writing the script, they had multiple different endings that they had written, one of which was Newman getting risk advice from somebody at the car impound lot.
Huh.
So maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to be playing him at 2:30, come and tow his car.
Yeah. So they go together. Well, Kramer leaves to go chase down his car. He comes back into Jerry's apartment and Newman is moving pieces around. And so he grabs a risk board and he said, I'm taking it with me. And so we get this ridiculous shot of the car being towed away and Kramer carrying the board and Newman running after him and Jerry and Watley talking to each other on the street. And so they're on the subway.
Going to get Kramer's car, presumably.
And Kramer's got Newman surrounded. All he's got left is the Ukraine.
The borderlands.
I'm quoting the show. This isn't my opinion. Ukraine is weak. It's feeble.
It's like a road apple?
He did say it was a road apple. Which is poop.
Oh, okay.
You've heard that term, right?
I was thinking of an actual apple on a road. But yeah, like horse poop on a road? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ukraine?
Why you say Ukraine is weak?
Ukraine is game to you? Ukraine is not weak. Where are the guy on the subway memes about the war?
Oh, in the Wikipedia article, it was like, this was a famous scene in the 2022 invasion of Ukraine.
Okay. Good. I'm glad. So then George goes to Bonnie's apartment and it's empty because all the stuff was Scott's.
Cleto
Augusto's. And
she really arranged her whole life for you.
He's gone. Now I'm the man.
You're really buried in all that velvet.
It's not a good role for you. He asks her if she wants to grab some towels so they can sit on them to watch the Super Bowl on the little TV George brings. Why does he put it in her room? Presumably she has bedroom furniture.
Yeah, you can see into her bedroom and there's not blank walls.
And Scott comes in because his boxes never made it to thing because they use the label maker. Label baby's bad. And George goes...
just racks his brain trying to think of how he can get out of this. He has a bit of a crazy idea. Not totally sure how it's pronounced.
So he suggests the menage. And Bonnie goes, you know that thing we talked about? George is into it. He's like, okay. And then the camera pans in on George's face and he opens his mouth real wide.
Presumably to scream.
But why wouldn't they have a scream? Big pickle. Did you know Carol Channing was the first Super Bowl halftime performer?
Oh, yeah. I think you know that from RuPaul's Drag Race.
I just learned that today from All Stars.
No,
I clearly didn't remember this fact from the first time we watched All Stars. I'm rewatching it, and I learned that fact today.
Yes.
Did you know that she wasn't really even like, oh, and halftime show with Carol Channing? It was in New Orleans, the first Super Bowl. And the halftime show was basically just a university marching band doing like a Mardi Gras tribute and a reenactment of the 1815 Battle of New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
And then she sang When the Saints Go Marching In. So Super Bowl's changed a bit.
Slightly. So we didn't really talk about like Elaine's storyline and dating Tim Whatley and asking to go upstairs and
nope.
They did 2 beds. Didn't work out with Elaine. They fall in love because he was so sensitive. My teeth.
So why didn't she want to go downtown? She was into him. She was scheming to like date him.
Well, it's the obligation.
Okay. That's all I have.
So what's on tap for next week?
The scofflaw.
Yeah, I don't really know what this is about.
Do you really not know, or are you just not saying?
Based off the title, I don't know. Looking at the screenshot, I recognize that. And I think that Kramer helps get Newman out of parking tickets again. And then reading the description, I think that something will happen that I thought was an earlier storyline. Like I thought that was in like season 3. And I don't want to spoil it for you because it's a good good visual gag.
Okay, so I have some corrections. The last time we talked a lot about pickleball for some reason.
Oh God.
You were right. The score in doubles has 3 parts: serving team score, receiving team score, and the serve number 1 or 2. Server number 1 or 2. Okay. In singles, the score has 2 parts: the serving player's score and the receiving player's score. Yeah, that's generally how scores work. Anyway, so you said something that went over my head. You said, let's name a sport after a dog.
Oh, you didn't know that pickleball was named after the inventor's dog?
No, but I've heard two competing stories about this.
Oh.
The name became pickleball after I said it reminded me of the pickle boat in Rowing Crew, where oarsmen were chosen from the leftovers of other boats. Then they named the dog Pickles.
Oh.
But the story became it was named after the dog because it was more relatable than Rowing Crew.
Sorry, wait. What does it have to do with Rowing Crew?
It's called
the oarsmen are named Pickles?
The pickle boat is like the leftovers that nobody wants in their boats.
Oh, okay.
Apparently.
But the oarsmen are not called Pickles.
I mean, they're in the pickle boat. So individually they are pickles.
Okay.
Cool Lickles?
Cool Lickle. Look it up.
And I looked up Brewline. It's not a racket brand. It's a kind of tennis racket.
Oh.
But I really couldn't find a lot of info about it. Jocelyn Landis said she tore her humeral epicondyle, but that's part of your bone.
Can you tear a bone?
Don't think so. So white at Wimbledon is still a rule for tennis outfits. Last year, they changed the rules so players who menstruate can wear dark shorts.
That's fair.
In 2017, Venus Williams had to change her bra because a millimeter of the strap was showing while she was playing tennis.
You have to wear a white bra?
I guess so. Yeah, it's silly.
It seems impractical in the heat.
Well, it's better for the heat, right?
White
reflects
bra?
the heat.
But your sweat will show through.
You're sweating through everything. It's
the black hides it, doesn't it?
I don't know. So white for racket sports is a club rule. It was like a hoity-toity thing, we don't get dirty. So it's like squash, tennis, even cricket is like a
I thought you were talking about
fancy
race.
sport. Sort of, kind of also. That kind of goes hand in hand. But now for like professional squash, you can wear anything. I thought you had to wear pastels, but that's not the case. But it was funny because one like professional squash website said squash gear for men should be comfortable, sweat wicking, etc., etc. And for women, it should be modest. So cover them up, ladies.
Squash daddies.
Yeah, exactly. Get those 3-inch hoochie daddy shorts.
That guy summer.
That's all.
Show everybody your squash balls.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Believe it or not, this is our podcast. Please subscribe at the end. If you subscribed, we would be happy. Please subscribe to us. Believe it or not, it's our podcast.
Is that a Seinfeld reference?